What's going on, guys? This is the Red Rogue, and I hope you're all doing well today. Well, we're definitely probably close to a patch release, because Blizzard has started tuning a lot of the tier sets for patch 9.2. This is a super scientific, foolproof way of knowing that they're almost done, because that's usually what they do at the end of a patch cycle on the PTR. Definitely, most likely, usually, kind of. I mean, no, nobody knows, but we're hoping that it's soon, because we've been in patch 9.1 and 9.15 for forever. So today, because I'm always really excited when we get any buffs, we have more Outlaw stuff on the menu. Before we get started though, if you end up enjoying the video or the way I go over things, then any likes or comments that you have time to leave are sincerely and truly helpful and appreciated. Or if you just have any questions about anything related to the game, even if it's not related to this video, because I try to answer as many comments as I can. Also, I have a community Discord if you just want to stop by and chat, and the link for that is in the description for this video. So, Outlaw Rogue is normally considered the most RNG-oriented specialization of Rogue, predominantly due to its unique ability Roll the Bones. For non-Outlaw Rogue players, this ability basically gives you a random buff when you press a button, and it can do all sorts of things that kinda alter the pacing and rotation of the spec. And on top of all that, we have proc-based gameplay mechanics like our Sinister Strike ability and our Opportunity pistol shots. Our tier set for patch 9.2 continues this trend of proc-based effects, with the 2 set giving our Mastery procs a 25% chance to fire a free pistol shot. Frankly, our Mangosh procs pretty often, and it's usually about 20 or so times a minute. This loosely translates into 5 free pistol shots per minute, which by itself doesn't sound super crazy, but you have to remember you're saving energy by not having to cast a combo point generator, and you're getting those combo points for free. And you're saving GCDs from generating combo points, so this all means more finishers can be used, which means more cooldown reduction, especially if you're fortunate enough to have broadside active, since all those free pistol shots do get affected by the Roll the Bones buffs too. Now, the Outlaw 4 set had a rework a few weeks ago to make it feel more rewarding and, actually useful compared to the original version. Basically, for every time you cast or get a pistol shot proc from your 2 set, you have a 50% chance to get a stack of Tornado Trigger. At 6 stacks, your next pistol shot will also fire off a Between the Eyes cast for free and act as though you'd spent 6 combo points on it. This change was already pretty huge because it meant we were getting a free finisher cast without having to use a GCD or energy, and it was counting towards our cooldown reduction via Restless Blades and the True Bearing Roll the Bones effect. The devs working on the Rogue tier sets did notice that the Outlaw set bonus was a bit weaker than both Assassination and Subtlety, even after doing this rework, and as such we've received a very nice buff. Any pistol shots used with the 4 set equipped will count towards the Tornado Trigger stacks, guaranteed 100% with this change. This is a noticeable gain in performance, but more importantly, it helps remove a bit of the RNG from the spec, which is always a welcome sight. This change resulted in a roughly 2.5% overall increase in damage, which means between our 2 set and 4 set, we're probably around like 12 to 13% of overall damage gain. This seems right about where I anticipated tier sets being in terms of damage gain, though it's still a little lower because I kind of figured it'd be closer to 15%, but they even said they don't want it to be a specific damage percent gain that they're looking for when they make a tier set. Still, it should be about on par with the old Domination shards in terms of power gain, but instead of being boring, random percent damage boosts, it actually, results in a change to our gameplay and rotation a bit, which is cool to see. So, I've mainly just been bopping around in Zereth Mortis while playing with the set, trying out legendary combinations, but I can frankly say this is a pretty solid all-around set that works in both single and multi-target, and overall it's pretty easy to play around. I ended up just slapping together a quick week or so I knew when I reached the free Between the Eyes casts and made it really big just so you could see it in this video so you can follow along more easily, but yeah, so far it's a pretty solid tier set in terms of gameplay. There are times where you can have your pistol shot proc right at hitting max combo points unfortunately, so there is some potential to lose a little bit of them every now and then, but it doesn't really impact the gameplay or the fluidity of the rotation much at all. This still doesn't quite resolve the whole being capped at 5 targets thing, or at the very least beefing up our cleave damage on those 5 targets, but it is pretty fun to play around with this new tier set and the double legendaries. For world content, I've mainly just been using Celerity and Resounding Clarity because when I'm out soloing stuff, I can't really use Deathly Shadows, which I really want to use because you have to vanish to trigger the damage effect of Deathly Shadows, and vanishing mid-combat practically always resets the mobs and then they just evade and run off, so kinda not worth the headache. I'm hoping to find a few people on the PTR to run keys with eventually so I can test out the new Mythic Plus affix encrypted, but until then I'll have to make do with rare spawns in Zereth Mortis and lots of target dummy testing. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this little sneak peek at the recent buff to the Outlaw Rogue tier set bonus. I've been messing around with the subtlety one as well, and well, I have definitely a couple things I want to talk about that set as well, although not quite in as upbeat of a tone as this video was. As always, my appreciation and gratitude to all of my viewers and especially my patrons, who all help make these Shiba Shenanigans possible. Thank you all so much for watching. This is the Red Rogue, and I'll see you guys around.